What up, my people? Cool people, subscribe. So today we're gonna be working on our LS swapped Mustang. You can see here that this was my cold side piping and that there's like a million couplers in here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start getting some of those couplers out of here. We're gonna start welding. And that was stuff falling on the floor. Let's go. So as you can see, we have a coupler here. There's one even right here and one right here. So what we're gonna try and do is reduce that down to maybe just one coupler here. And we'll start by just making this one pipe. I definitely have some cleaning to do. See if we can make this actually a bit tighter in there as well, instead of coming so far away from this gap. So we're just gonna start out with, I guess, trying to take this stuff off and cleaning it. My GoPro plan didn't work.
Parachute?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
That was the case, eh? I had a 73 Mercury Capri. Now, I wouldn't do it in a quarter mile, but she'd do 160. Cops could never catch me and they hated that. I had to slow down and wait for them.
Always that one guy. I bet your Mercury ran 15 seconds in the quarter mile. Also, my girlfriend's gonna kill me if I keep this hoodie on, so I gotta take this off. What? I'm one of Clapped-Out's top fans. If you don't know who Clapped-Out is, they're on YouTube. And apparently, I'm the top fan. Winning. Anyways, we'll get this off. There's so much rubber on this. Oh my god. T-bolts can suck it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna clean this off with some Scotch-Brite. And then we're gonna acetone it after that. So I don't know if that's the way you're supposed to do it, but that's how I'm gonna get all the contaminants off it, hopefully, and make it a nice clean weld. Because aluminum is really picky with contaminants, so we'll give that a go. When I finally clean it up, I'll probably end up like wrinkle painting it anyways, so I'm not too worried about scuff marks on the aluminum. You can see, even, I just breathe that in. It's probably not good for my lungs. As you can see, the dirt that you didn't see is still on there. Now, as you guys should know already, I don't really know much about anything. So, if you're here because you're trying to learn things, I'm probably the wrong guy to be listening to. What I do is I take what you guys give me in the feedback and the comments, and I use it. So, right now I'll be using some 1/16 filler rod. 40-43, and we're gonna see how that works. This is smaller than what I normally had. I bought this recently, so I'm hoping that the smaller filler rod on the smaller material is actually gonna work out better for us. Make sure you clean this off with acetone too. I like to cut it in half because it's just too long like this. And that's how I end up with half pieces on my bench all the time. Let's see what we can do here. Aluminum's a bit weird because you got to get it warm first before it wants to do anything, and we got to try and line it up with nothing on the table. So something didn't work there, and that was a fail already. Why? What happened? Maybe I'm forgetting how thin this material is. Yeah, I had way too much amps the first time. Set it up in this for now. I gotta get better pedal control, I think. Because it's taking, what I need to learn to do is go full throttle with a lot of amps and then learn how to back off a little bit to use a little bit less amps so I can get the heat in it faster so I don't have to sit there as long in one spot. So I'm not really good at that. Now this is hot AF, but you can see my consistency isn't really there. I did stick two pieces of metal together, however, which is but I wonder if I can look inside. But it definitely looks like we penetrated most of the inside. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but it looks like we got inside. It should hold 5 pounds of boost, right? Yes! I think the pipe is going to be too long. I want it tighter than this is. So we're going to take an inch off this pipe on the end, but before I cut it, I'm actually going to weld a bead right here to mimic this little bump on the end for the coupler. And if you cut it and then try to weld the bump, you start melting away the outside material. So if you weld it on the flat and then cut it, you're not going to have to worry about ruining your pipe. Maybe we can get this to work too. See how that turns out maybe. This might be a little bit uncomfortable for me because it's like tilting my head, but we'll see if this can record something. Well, that didn't last long on the helmet. We're trying new things. We're trying to get more footage. But as you can see, this is what I'm trying to do. You can see where it's just bumped there. So I'll probably just do 3 or 4 of those around the outside. I won't do like a whole lap around. And then we'll cut it right on the edge of that, and we'll have a little bump there. Actually, I think that might have been not enough. I probably should have went this way more. Oh my God, I was pointing up there. I didn't even point at the table. That was stupid. Yeah, here's our welds. So we'll cut that off now and see where it fits now. Now, you can see that once we have it cut and cleaned out on the inside, that our little bumps here, well, this one's not really a bump, but the other ones are good bumps. And that's just gonna hold the coupler on a little bit extra. You shouldn't actually need these. The coupler should hold to itself. Hold to it itself. You can already see that I've clamped down on it too hard and I've bent the pipe, but cheap eBay pipe, doing what we can. But it should sit a lot closer for me now. Yeah. And our next bend is actually right here that we want to weld on, so I gotta pull this one off here. We'll line up this one, clean them off real good, and just weld these ones up. Like that. So I've been texting Nick the whole time. He's my go-to guy. Black Sheep Industries on Instagram if you're not following him. He's a fab guy himself in Fort Sask. Real good dude, always helping me out. And he said that I should probably use the 3/32 rod that I have instead of the 1/16. So we're gonna try that. I did notice that I had a hard time filling the puddle with the small rod. I had to wait a little bit because I couldn't move it enough in my fingers. There's like a technique to move the rod in your fingers while you're welding, apparently, to keep feeding it. But it's really hard for me to do because I'm not good at it. So we'll give the bigger rod a try, and I'm gonna try and give it more heat off the start and then back pedal off. So I'm trying to work on my pedal mobility and rod filling technique, I guess. And you know what? Since we're doing a lot of fab work, why don't I move the table out and we can get some real angles on the go. So round 2 went much better than round 1. Look at that. That looks almost professional, Kyle. Shit. Compared to our old one right here, you can see the difference if I put them like this. Hell yeah. I'm stoked about that one. That one felt good. I didn't feel like I was gonna blow through. I knew when to move. I was like watching the puddle. I was watching the filler sink in. I was like, I know when to move. I know when to stop. I know when to turn the piece. Everything felt really good on that weld, actually. Our old water used to run like this. That was our old, or maybe it was the other way. Yeah, I think it was this way, maybe. I don't know, something like this. It used to run like this anyways. What I did was I cut off an old piece of hose, and we're just gonna connect it here and get rid of this big bend and just run this little one. Now that's just gonna clean things up to give us a better shot from down here to where our pipe comes out, like up here and then across and then into here. Clean it up a little bit at a time. This also has to come off as well because I'm gonna build a log manifold for over here. I'm gonna have to do something with this. I'll probably have to buy some aluminum to make this bottom drain come over here some more so we can get a better shot of the pipe coming up. Sometimes you gotta do some weird shit to get the angles that you want. Now I did mess this pipe a little bit here with the die grinder, kind of caught and ripped it up a little bit, but it's gonna have to do. Probably shouldn't be touching it because I already acetoned it. But this one's gonna be a weird one to get set up to weld. How's this even possible to hold? No ideas. See if we can get a tack weld here. Don't bump anything, Kyle. Well, that pretty much ended up exactly where I wanted it. You can see you've got our 90 here. And then we'll come up to here. And this is gonna be our only one where we have a rubber here, besides on the throttle body. And I can't really build the throttle body one without having it. The throttle body's gonna be here Saturday, but and today's Friday, so it's gonna be here tomorrow. Throttle body's gonna be here tomorrow. And we'll build another one that comes up over here, 90 here and a 90 there. I don't know if I have enough 90s. I have this one for sure. I have these ones from the hot side that I could probably steal for now. And this blow off valve, I guess, might even fit in there. Probably not. There we go. Another pretty successful weld, I think. Not as good as the last one, but that's because the pipes, remember where they were a bit damaged, I had to fill in some gaps and stuff, so it's not perfectly perfect all the way around. But I think that one's gonna hold as well. If not, we'll blow off the eBay intercooler piping and move on from there. This one, there's a specific, like a big gap here that I had to fill in, so that's probably why it's a lot flatter than the rest of them. And here's our final fit up. A lot better if you guys watch a couple of my last videos. And now we're just gonna have to come 90 off of this. Since I won't get the throttle body till tomorrow, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the other header. Wow, grab the other header, yep. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the other header from that side, the turbo manifold, and see if it'll fit on this side pointing backwards. The only issue is it might not clear the steering rod, or the steering, whatever you wanna call it. And we're gonna run our piping through the back this time when we build our log manifold. Sorry, camera, you gotta move. You're in the way. I'm not cool enough. So it's not all the way tight, and you can see that it's hitting that little nub there on the manifold there. That can be ground down anyways. Right there, that's hitting the steering shaft, so that can be ground down, but I think the engine has to be tipped up a little bit in the back too, so it'll give us a little more clearance too, I think. But once we grind down that nub, I think we'll be fine. So when I was saying little nub, this is what I was talking about. This piece that's sticking off right here, this is the piece that's hitting. So this can be ground down all the way. We don't need that. We also don't even need these ones if we really want to grind those ones down too. Now I know I've done this a million times, but the turbo's got to come off again, so I'm just going to pull this off real quick. I'm not going to film it, but you know, for the 1000th time, Kyle. We were definitely chewing some shit up with our turbo because this blade is a little tiny bit bent. You can see little tiny markings on the blades. And you can see all kinds of junk in there. So when we re-put this on, it's going to be with a filter for sure because it's a street car. Now I don't like how I kind of destroyed this area to make that turbo fit there. That was kind of dumb on me, but we'll do something about that. Maybe we'll tube the front and just cut this part off and that part off eventually anyways. But for now, maybe get some sheet metal in here or something. Well, I made a new purchase. First purchase after like almost selling the Supra. You guys can say things are getting serious. Look at it, it's so little. It's a little 125 cc's. I'll probably barely fit in it. But here's the thing, Virginia's got kids and they'll love it. I only paid 400 bucks for it, so Virginia and I'll fix this thing up and probably take it for a rip first, right? Tokyo's here to save the day. It's loud, it likes to party.
It's actually kind of quiet.
So you're gonna drive it up?
This.
There's no way to get past those two cars right there. It parties.
It doesn't turn.
No, it doesn't turn. No brakes yet. Reverse is handy.
Sick go-kart bubbles.
I wonder if the shocks from the quad will fit on the front of this thing. So another day back at it. You can see that we left off, we didn't have the throttle body, but we got us a nice care package from Nick over at Black Sheep Industries. Make sure to follow him on Instagram. Super cool dude. I'll leave like the description and link or whatever down the bottom. But anytime that I do a weld and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this, I like take a picture and I send it to Nick and he's like, that's too hot, that's too cold, use more filler. So he's been critiquing me very hard. He's like a fab guy himself and he's trying to start up a new business. For example, this is his new wastegate. It's a 60 mil gate, it's his own design. He's working with a manufacturer, has his own logo up here. Black Sheep Industries is kind of off-centered. This is the prototype model, so I gotta test the prototype, I guess. We also have our 102 throttle body that we needed to finish up this piping. And in the bottom here, we have some stuff for our log manifolds. And this is for you, Tokyo, apparently. This beanie. So, found our gasket. Oh, that's not gonna work. Looks like we got some trimming to do here to be able to fit the TPS sensor on here, on the end. Because we've got to steal this one right here. Maybe, it might fit. And I'm over here just struggling with life, trying to get a 4-inch coupler to stretch over a 4 1/4 throttle body. I should have thought this through. Come on, I don't want to buy another coupler. Hey, we did it. Use our double hose clamp here because we're too cheap to buy one big one. So it looks like we can probably utilize our blow-off valve and just keep it tucked down here somewhere. Put it like that maybe. So I have to put a 45 here and we'll put a bead there. It'll be good for now anyways until we can get some new piping, maybe. You guys all have that stuff in your build that's temporary, permanent, don't you? Yeah, I know you do. Zip ties and stuff, places that they shouldn't be. Wire crimps. electrical tape. I like this positioning right here, kind of. It definitely clears this hood. So I'm just gonna mark right here around this. Weld our bead like, I don't know, an inch in from that, and then that'll be our starting pipe. So I'll weld our bead just to match this line, like an inch away from it, so we have something to, so it doesn't blow off, and then we'll cut it right past the bead, and that'll be our first one. I'll film the live video. Hey, so we're live right now, and we're doing some aluminum piping. Just tack this piece on, and it looks like we might get away with another 45 and a bit of an angle down here to connect into our pipe down here. So we just did something a bit different there. We finished up the live video. This is how I was holding my phone with this little cheap thing with tape. Here's our latest weld on this one. We got it coming in at an angle here, and then we have to make it join up to there. So I'm not sure if I want to use it looks like I could probably use the 90 with a bit of an angle cut off it. I might have to extend it a little bit, but probably end up stealing this pipe right here and using this section, and then just one clamp to finish it off into this. And then it still utilizes our shitty blow-off valve mounting. We just have to change this nipple from there to here somewhere or something. And then we just need we could probably leave it like that, but I'll probably just add another small piece onto this end right here just to complete it. That's our latest weld. There was a little bit of contamination in this one, so it didn't weld as clean, but it's still gonna work. We've got this little piece here that I cut off, and that's gonna go in here, and then you can see that those two are gonna line up almost perfectly. So once I get that in place anyways. And there's a little bit of wiggle room in this bottom one. Fucker. Another sloppy weld on the go. This one's a little bit difficult because I messed it up in one spot there, and then it was okay over here. So how's that for charge piping? A lot better than last time, I think. Here it goes through here and then up through here. There's a bit of wiggle, so this is gonna fit good. And then we'll keep our blow-off valve as well. And our intake air temp sensor is still pretty good there. So I think it's gonna work out fine for now. And that we can still use our factory battery here too as well, which is a big thing. Because if you do relocate the battery to the trunk, you have to have an external shutoff switch, which I don't want to put on this car. So that's where we're going to end this video. You can see our couplers on here. You can see the top weld here. That's not the one we clamped to. There's actually another bead underneath that, and both these tight pipes are actually touching, so that's good. Yeah. So this helps us retain our factory battery and stuff. And it comes down under here. Looks a lot better than before. It seems to me as learning a fab skill is a great skill to have. So we're gonna leave this for now. This is as far as we're gonna get it today. Tomorrow I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna start working on our log manifold to replace our turbo in a way better spot. And then we can start adding our 60 mil gate on too. Thanks, Nick. So peace easy and get that V. Make sure to subscribe.